Good morning, all. I'm Aishwarya Singh from ABES Engineering College. So today we are going to learn theory of motivation. The content we are going to touch today, that is motivation, theory of motivation, types of theories, Maslow hierarchy theory, and Herberg's two factors theory. What do you mean by understand the motivation? Motivation is one of the key factors that driving us towards achieving the something. Without motivation, we will do nothing. Therefore, motivation is one of the key aspects that whenever the comes to corporate management or in order to achieve some best business results, the organization needs keep employee motivated. In order to motivate the employee organization to various activities, the companies do basically the results and finding the certain motivational theories. What are the following motivational theory practices in modern world? The first is, we can say, is acquired theory. Acquire needs theory. What do you mean by the acquired theory? The acquired theory is according to the people that motivated their greed, the power for achievement for the affiliations, or by offering the empowerment titles and other related tokens of the people that motivated doing their work. And the second you can say, that activation theory. What do you mean by activation theory? Activation theory is that human can be aroused easily by their nature, by their nature. In this motivation theory, the arousal is used for keeping the people motivated. Take an army as an example, that arousals and eliminating the enemy of the good motivation factor. Or we can say that third is affect reversions. That what you mean by the affect preservance? Let us take an example for an employee is affected to a company that due to its reputation. Once the employee start working, he and she develops the loyalty towards the company, or due to some issues, the company loses its reputations, but employee loyalty remains. And you can say that the fourth is the latitude behavior of the consistency. In this theory, the alignment of the latitude and behavior is used for the motivation peoples. Then attribution theory, the argue people have to attribute is used to the motivational factor. Usually people like to attribute oneself as well as others in different contexts. Is used for the industry for the theory. As an example, you can say one's name is published in a magazine in a good motivation, so that the same person do engage further for writing. And convenectic dissonance, that means the theory is emphasize the fact that non-alignment to something could make people uncomfortable and eventually that motivate them to do the right things. And there are many more theory motivational factor that we can say that the motivation to the procedure that excites the people to work for the attainment for the desired objective. What we want to do, if suppose we are working here, when we are motivated to our some seniors, they how they will work, how they will teach in the class, we will motivate, and we will motivate them to join with a new subject and with a new methods. We will learn some domains training. This is called motivation. When your head, your director will motivates you, will appraise you that you are doing a great job, your effort was showing you, they will affiliate you. That is all what about the motivation that we shown as a good work for the outcomes. You can say that is motivation factor. Motivation basically factors depends on the theory of motivation. The theory of motivation is based on the two content theories. There's a content theory and the some is a content theory, and this is second is a process theory. What do you mean by the content theory? Content theory try to define what motivate people. Content theories of motivation often describe a system that needs motivates people as their action. Content theory, that means your action will content, your action will motivated, you are doing something that by your action will show. Then the process theory, instead of focusing on what the people need. This model focus on the physiological and the behavioral process that humans follow, also called the contingency theory also. Then some their motivation and the types of content theory. There's a Marshall theory. This is a Marshall theory, and the Herzberg two-factor theory is 1959, and theory X and theory Y is 1957. Achievement or motivation theory is 1968. And these are the following types. These comes on the process theory also. The goal of settings theory. That's 1960. Equity theory. This is 1965. Expectancies theory 1964, Porter and Lawyer expectancies theory is 1968, and reinforcement theory is 1957. And what is Marshall theory? You can say Marshall postulate that a person will motivate when his needs are fulfilled. The needs start from the lowest level, basic needs, and keeps moving up as the lower need to be fulfilled. Agar we can say that what is Marshall theory, what to describe this, the meaning of this, you can see in this figure. The first one is your physiological basic needs. What do you mean by physiological basic needs? This physiological basic needs, you can say that your shelter, your food, shelter, that your basic needs. Then we'll come to the for the second part. Second part is your security. जब भी हम अगर अपनी फिजियोलॉजिकल या बेसिक नीड्स की बात करते हैं, कहते हैं खाना पीना घर छत, ये बेसिक नीड्स होती हैं, देन वी फील स्विच टू द सिक्योरिटी पर्पस, कि देन वी स्टार्टिंग टू थिंक अबाउट योर सिक्योरिटी, कि नाउ वी हैव मच अमाउंट ऑफ दिस, देन वी हैव आवर शेल्टर, वी हैव आवर फूड टू ईट, एंड नाउ नेक्स्ट इज योर सिक्योरिटी. After security, there the third portion is your social, then the fourth is your esteem, and the fifth is your self accusation. Next, these are the Marshall theory belongs divided into 5 basic needs. First needs is physiological needs, which is called air, water, food, shelter, base, and sleep, clothing, reproduction. And the next is safety needs, personal security, employment, resource, and a healthy property. And the third is people, friendship, and esteem is the respect. These four, the first four is based on their divided onto in two parts. Basically, they were divided your needs. The Marshall follow divided into two parts. One is deficiencies needs, and one next is the growth need. These four comes in D needs. D needs is called deficiency needs. Deficiency needs, that means to say that the motivated people when they have are unmet. The motivations to fulfill such needs will become stronger and longer they are denied. For example, the longer a person goes without a food, the more hungry they will become. They will defeat needs have such been more or less satisfied, it will be go away. It will be go away, and our activities become habitually directed towards the meeting the next set of the needs. You can see the deficiency, the Marshall theory divided in your 5 parts. These are the 5 parts from the lower to bottom, from the lower to topper. The Marshall theory needs to motivate theory is physically comprising the 5-tier model of the human needs. Then often despite the hierarchical levels of their, these are the pyramid level of hierarchical, which needs the Marshall theory divided their human needs in a basic, these 5 terms. It will defines in the deficiency needs, or you can say that your growth needs. D for deficiency needs and G for the growth needs. These 4 are comes on the deficiency needs, and the self-equation is based comes on G needs. That means growth need. This will come to growth needs. Marshall comes at 1954, proposed that the human being processes the 2 sets of theory, 5 needs set models depending on deficiency and the growth needs. The first 4 levels are often as, for I'm already said, defined as deficiency needs, and the top layer known as a self-acquisition is based on their growth needs. Growth needs. Then what is a growth needs? How you can define the growth needs? Desire to become most that one can be, or most psychological and associated with realizing an individual full potential and needing to self equalize. These needs are achieved more through intellectual and creative behaviors. Growth needs do not stem from the lack of the something, but rather than to desire a growth as a person, to grow being as your person what you want to. Once these growth needs have been reasonably satisfied, may not be able to reach the highest level called self equalization, which you can say the desire to become the most that you can be. The next is the Marshall hierarchy theories depends on their some criticisms. The lack of direct causes, effects of relationship between the need and the behavior. What is a reasonable level of unsatisfaction of needs? Some person for whom self-esteem needs that more important than social need, your social needs. The Hamburg's factors divided into two parts. The first Herbeck conclude that there are categories of needs independent of each other affecting behavior in different ways, and these are the hygiene factor and the second is a motivation factor. What do you mean by the hygiene factor and the maintenance factor? Hygiene factor, you can say the job condition which dissatisfy employees when the conditions are absent. When you can say that your condition is absent, when you're dissatisfied to your work, when you are not motivating too much that you have done. The motivation factor, these job conditions operates primarily to build strong motivation but the higher job satisfaction, but their absence really proves strongly dissatisfaction. Their presence directly motivates to them they what they have done. Then the Herbert factors divided into two factors as we already read, the hygiene factor and the motivational factor. Hygiene factor, what do you mean by the hygiene factor? These are not intrinsic part of a jobs, but they are related to conditions under which a job is performed. What do you can say the which the job, what do you can say that the which the job is performed? What do you mean the hygiene factor? What have you done in your to scope to find some to, you can say that what you need to some to find your achievements, your goals, what you want to do, that is hygiene factor. Can you give me some example with the hygiene factor? What do you mean by the hygiene factor? We can take that hygiene factor, some company policies, some company take an example as company policy, or we can say that technical supervision, or we can say that the third part is, or we can say some example the your salary. What do you mean by the salary? Your salary, when you satisfy with your salary, you can say that is a hygiene factor, or you can say that job security. You can say that job security. Next is what do you mean by the motivational factor? These factors result in positive effects on your job satisfaction, and increase in these factors will satisfy employee and decrease will not affect their level of satisfaction. What do you mean? Can the motivation factor the layer of satisfaction, their achievements? You can say their achievements, or you can their recognition, or third you can their advancement, and you can say that possibility of growth. These are the base factors to examples of motivation factor that result in positive effect on the job satisfaction. What in terms of job factors will satisfy you? Your achievements, obviously, your recognition when you are doing some great work or some hard work, your team or your team employees or your colleagues will recognize you, will appraise you, and giving some achievements to the possibility of the, these all factors will become your possibilities of growth. What you have done, what you have hard work you have done in your company, that is called the motivational factor. These are the reference that we use Bob Hug's my book. Disclaimer. Thank you so much.